Hey there, my friends. John here, of course. Just spending an awesome day out here in the wintertime woods, chilling around the old campfire. Really doesn't get a lot better than this. In fact, I bet you wish you had a spot on a log here next to the fire with me, eh? I sure would be glad to have you along, I gotta tell you that. Now, I did figure since we were out here, we'd go ahead and pick up on an old series that we introduced a while back. In fact, if some of you recall, it was quite a while back. And that series was Fireside Chat. Now, the concept behind the series was that it was intended to be just a casual, interactive experience between us, sitting around the fire. And in the original video that I uploaded introducing the series, which I will include down in the description area below so you can watch it in its entirety, what I had suggested was that some of you would leave comments down in the description area about any topics that you'd like to see covered, any questions that you may have, anything you'd like to see discussed, pretty much anything goes kind of thing. And we'd pick a handful of those, maybe 3 or 4 or so per episode, and just, go over them one by one, chilling around the old campfire here. So, if that sounds good to you, what do you say we go ahead and get this kicked off? Now, the first topic that I wanted to start off with here was actually suggested by, well, me. Sorry, guys, had to do that one to you. But there are a couple things I wanted to cover that are coming up that I am pretty excited about, and I thought you guys may be kind of stoked about them as well. So, wanted to share those with you. Now, don't worry right off the bat here. We're still going to be doing the same kind of content that we've always done here. The tips, the tricks, the DIY stuff, the adventure videos, the occasional completely random video, just that kind of stuff. But there are a couple things coming up, like I said, that I'm really excited about. So, one of those that I'm going to start off with is actually a secret, so I really can't even tell you about it. I just wanted to let you know that it's upcoming. Be on the lookout for that. It's one video, but it's a video that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and it does involve somebody that, let's just say, had probably the most impact on my life, and this channel wouldn't even exist had this person not inspired me, let's just say. You'll see what I'm talking about when that one rolls out. So, starting off with that teaser, right? Let's jump on to the next one. The next one is, and I had actually introduced this a while back, was a wall tent living series. Now, that's kind of an old school type deal. We break out the old canvas wall tent, me out in the woods, living out there for a while, and kind of cover, just daily life out there and some of the things we do. There'll be some projects, there'll be some stuff like that, some tips, tricks, things like that, just in a more kind of, like I said, old school way. It's just one of the many ways that I like to experience the outdoors sometimes, and I thought you guys may get a kick out of it as well. Something a little bit different, kind of a little different perspective on things, but still outdoor stuff, still lots of tips and stuff like that that hopefully you enjoy. Now, the grand finale, and the one that I'm like super stoked about, is I actually have the opportunity, and it's already in place. We're hiking the John Muir Trail this summer. Man, one of the premier trails in the country, and get to spend a few weeks on that this year. Hiking the whole thing to Mount Whitney, the highest mountain in the continental United States. It's just going to be epic, man. Totally looking forward to that trip. Wanted to share that with you guys. Now, of course, we are going to be doing some filming out on the trail and sharing that. But there's a lot of preparation between now, which is the beginning of February, and probably the end of July when we'll be doing that. That's involved in that type of hike. So figured we'd roll out a video occasionally, kind of sharing some of that with you. And they're gonna be just kind of regular style videos, but derived or centered around kind of the John Muir Trail preparation. And some of that stuff's gonna be training for a long distance hike, logistics, just a lot of different things. I haven't ironed it all out yet, to be honest with you, but figured we'd roll out that as we go along and as I'm preparing for the actual trip. And hopefully some of that stuff will come in handy for you, whether it's just a weekend backpacking trip or if you're planning a long distance trip yourself. So that's the first topic. Moving on to topic 2, which is actually a viewer question. And this one is from Billy V. And he asks, what advice do you recommend for someone who is new to backpacking or camping and not sure if they want to continue to do it or not? Billy, that is actually an awesome question, man. Now, um, let's see, I'm not really one for advice, but what I would suggest when you're getting into pretty much any activity, but backpacking or camping, as you said specifically, uh, you don't, there can be some money invested. Now, if you watch my channel, you know that I really stress being able to get out and enjoy the outdoors on any level uh, inexpensively. It doesn't require a lot of money. I've said that so many times it's not funny. Now, with that said, that same principle applies even more so if you're just starting out and really not sure if you're going to want to continue. You don't want to invest a ton of money in gear. Even keeping it cheap, the numbers still do add up a little bit. Now, the first route that I would take, honestly, is if you happen to be fortunate enough to know somebody who is already into backpacking or camping and maybe has a little extra gear, they may be willing to, kind of supply you, as it were, get you out on your first, maybe overnight backpacking trip or even a day hiking trip, test your trail legs, see even if you like the experience. Now, obviously, that would be the most optimal thing because there is absolutely no investment whatsoever involved there. You get to get out, test the experience, and you have no money outlaid. So, barring that, the other thing that I suggest, and I've actually done a video on that, which I'll include in the description area as well, is you can actually get geared up for backpacking or camping very inexpensively. And there are a lot of ways about going about that, thrift stores, yard sales, maybe some friends have some, old gear laying around that they're willing to part with. Just a lot of ways to acquire some gear. Here on the channel, we have a lot of DIY stuff. So there's a lot of things that you can even do for free as far as, just the basic gear that you need to get out and kind of test the waters, as it were. The second thing you may want to consider here actually doesn't even involve money, but it's extremely important. And that is starting small. Now, instead of maybe going on your first full-fledged, 2, 3 day, backpacking trip or, extended car camping trip, something like that, just kind of dip your toes in the water, as it were, start small. Whether that's just a day hike or, even a couple hours out on a local trail or a really, quick car camping trip, just something easy, something that you can bail on quickly if you're really not into it, and that just lets you get a kind of a taste of the experience. And if you find that you do enjoy it, you can obviously push the boundaries, further and further from there. Go on your first overnight backpacking trip. Then push it to 2 or 3 days, and next thing you know, you may be hitting the John Muir Trail. And the third, and what we're going to wrap up on here, is another viewer suggested topic. It's actually in the form of a question. And this is from Goddess One Princess. She says, do you have a favorite tip or trick, and why? Now, I'm going to go ahead and break that into two parts here. The first one, a tip. Let's see. That's actually pretty simple. And we actually kind of just covered that. Now that is involving money and the outdoors. My tip on that, and it's the basis of my channel, is you do not have to have a lot of money to get out here and enjoy the outdoors. Whether that's backpacking, camping, fishing, whatever wherever your taste may run, however you like to enjoy the outdoors, it does not have to take a lot of money. And like I said, I said a little bit earlier in this video, There are plenty of ways to get out here and enjoy this stuff without putting out a bunch of money. You know, there's gear on the market that is just incredibly expensive, you know. So for the price of, you know, maybe one of those pieces of gear, you could outfit yourself with, you know, your entire set for backpacking, you know, if you go about it right. So, and once again, that's actually in the same video that I referenced earlier, and that will be down in the description area. It shows a lot of different ways of how you can go about that. There's a lot of different videos here on the channel, and I'm not just promoting my own videos here, guys. There's tons of videos here on YouTube that, you know, show you lots of DIY stuff, stuff that, you know, I have not been able to show or that, you know, I can't do. There's an absolute wealth of knowledge out there to take advantage of. So that would kind of be my tip there is, you know, just you don't have to spend a lot of money. Just get out and enjoy this stuff, man. Yeah, so I don't know if that qualifies as a good tip or not, but that's what I got there. Now, the second part of the question was trick. Do I have a favorite tip or trick? Now, I really had to think about this one. Like, what would my favorite trick be? You know, that that took some thinking on. And the one I settled on sharing with you guys is it's probably going to be a little anticlimactic and not really exciting, but it is a little trick that I use all the time, and it's helped me tremendously. And that is using a car sunshade or even a mylar blanket under my sleeping pad whenever I'm out, you know, camping or backpacking. Every backpacking trip that I take, whether, you know, that's summer, spring, winter, or fall, I always carry one of those with me. It just increases the, you know, warmth, gives that little barrier between the ground, um, and just increases the warmth of your pad, gives you a much better night's sleep. You can get away with a little bit less weight on gear. So say you'd normally take, you know, maybe a 20-degree bag, you could, you know, bump that up to a 30-degree bag. So you're packing a little bit less weight, but that barrier, that reflective barrier, which weighs, you know, practically nothing, really is incredibly effective. And I just, yeah, like I said, I know it sounds kind of anticlimactic for a really cool, epic trick, but it's one that I use every time and allows me to get, you know, an awesome night's sleep where I can get out and fully enjoy, you know, the next day and whatever experience that awaits me for that day. So I guess that's my favorite trick. Well, I think we are going to go ahead and wrap this one up on that note. In fact, the old fire is kind of dying down here, so I probably better get that stoked up, right? Because I fully intend to spend a bit more time out here just enjoying the peace of the woods and, of course, the old fire. Now, if you guys enjoyed this little fireside chat thing we got going on here, let me know so, you know, we know whether to continue doing it or not. And if you do want to continue doing it, you know, leave your topics that you'd like to see covered or any questions that you may have that you'd like to, you know, have answered. Pretty much anything, you know, down in the comments. We'll go ahead and, you know, pick a few of those for the next episode and do our best to get them covered. Now, before we go ahead and wrap this up, I do want to take a second to say thank you all very much for your support. It is truly appreciated, guys. Until next time, take the best of care, and we'll be seeing you soon.